Number two, what underrated tools are indispensable for your job? Now, number one tool is right here, right? That's the best tool, and I use it quite a bit. Now, you said underrated. A tool that I use these iPhones a lot. So I'm recording this on an iPhone. I'm using the audio on an iPhone 8, and I'm using an iPad. So I'm using a lot of Apple products. What I love is that I can just like sync everything together and just like paint it and just like do that. Whereas before this, it's been an evolution of the podcast, especially in person. And, we would have lighting. We got some great lights, some pretty cheap lights. There's a lot of tools that are cheap that you can, that I've used quite a bit. And we used to have 3 DSLR cameras, but then you would have to take the SD card and then upload them to here. But then eventually they all have to make their way to my MacBook or, iPad or something like that. So it's cool to have it all ready. It's so mobile, and that's what I love because I don't see myself. I think that's why I started doing these is because I hate recording actually in my apartment. I just hate it. So I like being out and about, and right now I'm recording this in Lincoln Station, great restaurant in Chicago in Lincoln Park, and I'm actually recording this before my shift tonight. So here I am. And as far as underrated tools, it's kind of what you would expect, right? I'm sure you experience this. If you have a computer and an internet connection, you can do a whole lot. You can do an incredible amount. And then also, like I mentioned before with the iPhones, I use it simply as a tool. When I was in college, I remember I had a separate digital camera, a separate phone, a separate iPod to listen to music. Now they're all infused into one, and I don't use. That's how I pretty much use it in voice memos, right? That's probably the tool I use the most. That's underrated is the app voice memos in Apple products. 'Cause I'm recording this now with it, but if I go sign up for a phone plan or something. They're pushing. What I realize is that I use phones differently than the general population. So what's kind of promoted at stores is you get all this playback time. Your battery life is really good, and I don't use my phone to watch stuff. I don't really use it to scroll. I don't really scroll on apps. I simply use it as a tool, like you had said. So those are a few tools. Pen and paper is a great one too. Very underrated tool these days, right?